Hello, friends. Well, we continue with the series on the laws of business and enterprise development. And we looked at the first law, which says that God always begins from the place where you are. We looked at the second law, which says that your current job is a seed you have to sow for your future business development. Now, the third law I want us to look at is simple, and that is that you must understand the spirituality of the marketplace. In other words, you need to understand that, Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, and that to succeed in the marketplace, you need to understand the spiritual imperative. If we go back a little bit, the Bible says God created the earth and he gave the title deed of the earth to Adam. Indeed, Satan, Lucifer was actually not interested in Adam. He was just interested in a territory in which he can function unhindered. And he understood, therefore, that Adam had the title deed of the earth. And therefore, it was Adam that could relinquish the earth unto him. So all he was interested in was a domain called earth, not Adam per se. So after, of course, the deception and Adam fell, the Bible says that Satan became the ruler of the darkness of this world, which means everything on earth is now governed by him, because it was legitimately given to him. If you remember the third temptation of Christ after 40 days of fasting, Lucifer, Bible says, Satan took Christ to the top of the mountain and told him, showed him the world and all the beauty, and told Jesus, he said, bow down to me. He said, if you worship me, he said, I will give all these things to you. He said, for it was delivered unto me. That was Satan's acknowledgement that this was not mine at some point, but it is now mine. So what that means is that everything in the marketplace is controlled by spiritual forces. And Jesus, when he came, confirmed this. When he was sending us out, he said, I'm sending you out as sheep among wolves. In other words, he's sending us into marketplace full of wolves, not sheep. So as a result of that, believers cannot just enter the marketplace purely based on their skill and their knowledge. You need to understand that there are spiritual dimension to the marketplace, the way it functions. So you need to grow in where it matters. You need to grow in the spirit. You need to develop a superior infrastructure in the spirit for you to operate in the marketplace. And as you move from one level in the marketplace to the other, you begin to see that you need to upgrade your spiritual hardware, so to speak, as well. So it's important, and we'll be dealing with this, in future broadcasts on this. But for this purpose, for today's purpose, I just want to make clear that the marketplace is a spiritual entity. You cannot win fighting with the tools the enemy controls. You must fight with the tools he has no access to, and that is spiritual. So you need to hold on to one thing. Marketplace is a spiritual entity, and money will always flow in the direction of spiritual power. I will say that again. Money will always flow in the direction of spiritual power. Those that possess spiritual power are the ones that will control the wealth of nations. Either godly power or satanic power. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You must possess one of the two. Why? Because every time a believer controls wealth, you are taking that wealth out of the control of the enemy. And the Bible says, who is it that wants to take the spoil of the strong man without first of all binding the strong man? How are you going to bind the strong man if you don't have the spiritual resource? So skill, knowledge, all that has its value. But the key, the unique factor, the distinguishing factor for a believer in the marketplace as you start a business is your spiritual resource. Understanding that the marketplace is a spiritual entity, and therefore you must engage it in the spirit as well. Which means, you have to be prayerful, you have to be in the Word, you have to constantly increase your fellowship with the Lord. We're going to do with all this in future laws. But the key point right now I need you to understand is, do not think that starting a business is purely about your skill or about your knowledge or even about money. It's about spiritual warfare. And therefore you must win the battle in the spirit if you have to win it in the natural. So the third law, or the law we're looking at today, is what? The marketplace is a spiritual entity, and you must engage with it spiritually if you are to succeed. God bless you. Until I come your way again, keep winning.